Outpost 186, Tuesday night, Monday night sometimes performances are all over on Fat Tuesday. March 4th is Fat Tuesday and Lent begins the next day. So even though you guys decided not to continue this into Lent, it would be a sin to have this go on during Lent. Too bacchanalian, I guess. I think of you guys as patrons of the art. It was once said that if you ever go to heaven, and you show up at the pearly gates, they'll ask you, were you a patron of the arts? And if you say yes, they let you right through. Even punk and grunge devotees get to go in if they were patrons of the art, which you guys are. Except for death metal and satanic metal, they don't get, but they didn't want to go anyway, so it wouldn't make a difference. I'll give you a little insight into how I go about writing a comedy routine. I basically deal from a truth, and then I extrapolate it out. As an example, whales live in the ocean. Though at one time whales left the ocean, went onto land, ran into some of our ancestors, our hominids, took one look at us and said, I don't think so, and went back. Because they're mammals, like us. So whales in the ocean, whales will poop in the ocean. That's what whales do, they poop in the ocean. Then there's an organism that eats whale poop called plankton. Plankton eat whale poop. Now it's important that they do because plankton then create oxygen that we breathe. So in effect, we're breathing whale poop. See the logic there?
Shit keeps going.
Yeah. We're breathing in whale poop as we speak. It's here. I got it. This happened. Oh. You get up and you got it. Okay. I got it. I know I got it. It's here. I've been doing it for 3 days. I like to prepare before I go. And I have prepared. And now, hold on a second. Yeah, it's showbiz. It says mention whale poop. Okay. It's got everything. Whale poop. Check. Now, my name is Driscoll, D-R-I-S-C-O-L-L, Kevin. And yes, I'm related to the famous Jack Driscoll. You know Jack Driscoll. He was the first mate on a ship called the Venture, who ends up going to Skull Island. He was part of the rescue crew who went up to the mountains and took the actress Ann Darrow away from King Kong and brought her back. King Kong, of course, was then transported to New York, where he was mugged and died. Now, in the movie, he shows him climbing up on the Empire State Building, but of course, that's not what happened. He just got mugged and he's dead. But it's a family tradition amongst the Driscolls to prevent ape domination here on this planet. It even extends into our family future history. I am one of the antecedents of Colonel George Taylor, who travels in an interstellar spacecraft that gets mixed up in time, he gets lost in space and time, and he ends up back on Earth amidst the planet of the apes. And he's got to prevent the apes from continuously controlling the planet. His famous speech, of course, comes down to about 12 words. Take your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty ape! So we once again prevented ape domination of planet Earth. But no thanks required, we're glad to do it. It's what we do, it's what the Driscolls do. Thank you very much. Oh. This week, once again, I have felt a disturbance in the force. A disturbance in the force. Another Hollywood starlet has come out as gay, as lesbian. Now this This affects my whole sexual fantasies that I have set up from childhood. I'll explain how it works. Basically, from puberty on, I would see an attractive woman on stage or screen or on television, and I would have fantasies about her. She would get older, and I would give it a rest. They would then get older or even older and die, and I would be glad that I gave it a rest. Sometimes they would die young. But I would continue my fantasies. I hope they don't mind. Sometimes they will be hetero, then they will come out and be gay, these sexual fantasies of mine, and then I have to stop and give it a rest, and then they go back to being hetero again. Thank you, Anne Hesh. But currently, my approach is, if a woman wants to come out as lesbian, it's none of my business, and I wish them well. And I give it a rest. But if I could ask them one question, I would ask them this one question. Can I watch? It's funny, I can remember the routine, but I can't remember the kicker. Yeah. That's why I wrote down the kicker, so I'd remember. It gets confusing. But that's showbiz. This is showbiz. When I was a young man growing up in life, in my family, the answers to life questions came through three means. One was called the magic 8-ball, where you'd ask the question of a magic 8-ball, and the answer would be delivered. You had 20 different answers from unlike, very unlikely, to certainly so. You could also rely on God. God would give you three answers. Yes, no, try again. Or you could flip a coin. Then I learned the meaning of life, where you really get the answers from, and it came from episodic television, a show called Kung Fu, where the young Chinese American lad was taught, grasshopper, the answer lies within. To all your questions, the answers are inside of you. So I took that, in America, I took that to mean go to a shrink. Go get your head shrunk, go get psychoanalyzed, and that'll help you identify the questions, which will help you identify the answers. And that works. I can recommend it. Get your head shrunk. However, I didn't get the answers to every question. I still have some questions that are bedeviling me. I'll share those with you now. Why did my father have me give myself spankings? What was the significance of the petting zoo incident, where amongst all the children that were there, and I was just one of many, why did that goat choose me to try to mount? What's been my lifetime fascination with soap? Why did my uncle refer to me as my little unicorn? Why did my brother stick a half-pound of hamburger in my back pocket and have me chased through the neighborhood by a pack of dogs? What was this thing my grandmother had for buttons? When my mother would leave the house, she'd come in. She'd get all the kids together and cut all our buttons off. And I asked the question, was I really a disappointment to my mother when she died? She had bought me a gravestone for a college graduation present, and I never used it. I feel like I let her down. How are we doing on time?